spine buster in the middle of the ring. What worried me was that he got frustrated. You can't do that. You can't get like in a real championship fight. If this were a real PBC guy that he was fighting who really had a title, they would have used that angle to somehow magically. I'm not saying boxing's fixed. I'm just saying it's very questionable for anybody listening. I'm just saying that when they fucked Eubanks at the end of the fight for the title, right? And let's say that DeGale was a poster boy at like 30-0, right? And he's got some bullshit WBA title that they're protecting. I guarantee that spine buster would have cost him the fight. Somehow magically, that would have been the scoring turn that somehow turned the fight around for DeGale. You can't do that shit ever. And I don't know how judges are influenced or what they think during the fight or if they're tweeting or whatever the fuck they're doing that gives them these wacky ass scores. Because I'm telling you, watching that fight, 114 to 112, which was the closest of the scorecards. How did you see the fight even that close? Like, I don't even understand that mentally. I watched that fight. To me, outside of 2 rounds, I don't see where Eubanks lost a round. Put the dude down twice, had a 9-9 round. There's no way. That fight was 117-109 easily.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes, it was. Lee, when you're only fighting out of one stable, you might need judges to make these fights look like they're closer than what they are. So when they say, if DeGale goes, you know what, I can't retire, right? Financially can't do it. I need as many fights as I can until they literally tell me they're not paying me anymore. So he comes back. A year from now, the PBC way, here comes DeGale to fight the new up-and-comer for PBC or whoever they have next. Then they bring up these scores. No one remembers the fight. They're going to just go, oh, yeah, Chris Eubank. You know that guy that fought, I don't know, Caleb Plant? Excuse me. Why do I call him Caleb every time? Caleb Plant? Oh, yeah, that guy. This guy had a very close fight with them. 2 of the judges had it 114, 112, 115, 112. So you're going to hear this shit later on. This is what happened. You've seen it with HBO. You've seen it a lot. You've seen it recently since this whole Cold War thing started in the boxing world. They have to make all these fights closer than what they are, I think, to move, to continue to fight the same fighters over and over, recycle them.
But okay. Yes. And I agree. Look, the reality is all boxing organization, I'm going to lump everybody in on this. You have upper tier guys, you have mid card guys, you got to stack your card. At the current moment, Chris Eubanks is a mid-card fighter. He's not an elite level fighter. Like, he should have finished DeGale. Like, he should have. You just should have, bro. Shut up.
And also, DeGale should have won this fight easily. An orthodox style usually does not beat a gold medal winner in boxing. Movement and a heavy jab stops a guy who just comes in lunging and throwing wild shots. Seriously. Go look at, how did Mayorga face do when he fought the upper tier of the welterweight division or the boxing world. So no, most of the time these street fighters, like what Eubanks was kind of showing last night, does not beat a caliber fighter like DeGale. I think DeGale had one foot out the door already, like the commentators are saying it. He wasn't in there to win. His style kind of proved it. Looked like he was trying to get through the rounds, not win rounds. So for Eubank, I think they can stretch this kid out, though. He's got a decent record. He's got a following over there in the UK. Chavez ain't shit. You know that, Lee. You know it, and I know it. Mexico really don't even like Chavez anymore. Seriously, they're not showing up to his fights. He's not a fan favorite. He don't get – Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing out there. So I would put Eubanks in with Chavez over here in America on a mid-level card, like you're saying, not a main event, and then get Eubanks ready for your new what was he, the IBF champ, I believe, Caleb Plant.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that either. I'm interested.
But we're talking PBC, so we gotta stay.
I understand.
And check this out. For all of you that were really paying attention, and not saying you're not, Lee, I'm talking to the fans right here. Did you guys see how this fucking broadcast said, oh, the super middleweight division is filled with fighters? We have Caleb Plant, Peter Cullen.
Yeah. They named everybody you wouldn't pay money to see.
Yeah, they named everyone in the PBC.
Right.
That's not even the fucking super middleweight division. Oh, it drove me. These guys
Right.
want no.
Which
They
is
want.
what disturbed me the most was I really like Al Bernstein. I think he's been a trusted voice in boxing for a long time. When he was patting his bet at the end of the fight when they were getting ready to read the scores, well, it was a close fight. It could go either way. No, bro, it couldn't. You scored it correctly on your own scorecard. Like, I don't,
Yep.
you're, I get that they're paying you a metric shit ton of money. I get that. I really do get, and I know this about me. I mean, I just don't normally give a shit when I'm in those positions because I'm just going to comment on what I'm going to comment about. But if you give me a serious contract and you're flying me all over the place first class to go to London and New York, yeah, I'm liable to suck on the Al Heyman dick too. I mean,
well, it's not even that. They're just playing
BBC
ball.
for life, bro.
At
And I'm
least,
putting it out there, by the way, if Al Heyman's a listener of this show, I am available.
Wait a minute. If you don't play ball, you're fired. You're let go. This is the way of the PBC. They've come out and said it. They are not looking to make
the same way for Top Rank and
this is going to tie in. Wait a minute.
Too.
This is going to tie into stories down the line, but this is why some of their headliners are all of a sudden becoming free agents. And we'll talk about that shit later. But don't get it twisted. The PBC is losing some of their biggest fighters because of the politics that is not working in their favor anymore. Tyson Fury leaving that negotiating and signing with ESPN is the beginning of the end for them.
There you go. That's the tale of Showtime. Then we switched on over to DAZN. Now, DAZN. I almost did it wrong. So I turned on DAZN exactly at the right time, 4 o'clock, and watched Barroom Boxing from PGA.
Look at that photo. The bald spot on Humberto Soto. You got to cut that off.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Cool. So for those of you wondering, in a battle of former world champions, Humberto Soto turned back the clock and won a 12-round unanimous decision over Brandon Bam Bam Rios.
It's like he was drunk and was the first one to fall asleep at his homeboy's house, and they fucked with him a little. That's what that bald spot reminds me of. Go ahead.
By the way, go check out the video at fightnetradio.com. Click on the YouTube page, and you'll see photos. Final scores, 119, 111, 118, 112, 118, 112. In fact, Bam Bam was not even in this fight at all. The photos are disturbing. I mean, it's really like your dad beating up the neighbor.
Yeah.
Dad, stop!
Hey, the neighbor was a drunk, too, and whooped your dad's ass.
Right? Like, it's generally disturbing to watch.
Look at the glasses, make him look a little younger. Good job, Rios brought it back. He's like,
Bam Bam, 32 versus 38. Bam Bam. The only Bam Bam that went on in this fight was the old man.
That right there, the gap. You see that gap? Every time there's space, Humberto's throwing 3 to 4 punches. You see this right here? This won him the fight, Lee. When they were in the inside, it's 2 Mexicans throwing down. That's space. It's the space that he created that won him the fight because those were extra 3 to 4 points every single time. He had the crowd behind him. He had the cartels in his corner. And when I'm telling you he had the cartels in the corner, go watch the fight. There's literally like a cartel member standing by Humberto Soto as they're announcing him. When I seen this, I knew for a fact he was ahead on scorecards at that moment in Tijuana. Good job of DAZN to be in Tijuana and allow a gang member, solidified gang member, blue bandana over the face, lowered hat. He looked like one of those guys that has those voices. I used to be in a cartel, you know what I mean? Those guys, the robot voices? He literally looked like one of those characters standing next to him. Low hat, bandana over, could barely see this dude. Fucking crazy. Unbelievable that DAZN let that go. Yeah, exactly. It's one of... You're not getting out of TJ with the victory when the dude's standing in the corner with the other opponent. Sorry, not in TJ. No, but seriously, say, hey, Lee. Maybe it was just his brother. I don't know. Maybe his brother just don't know how to act in public.
Funny. So, all right. So I'm going to take it seriously.
You know how you have that one family member? You're like, bro, seriously? What is this, fucking 1990? What are you, a character from American Me? But he won't grow up. He won't grow up.
From American Me.
It's his fucking birthday, so you got to let him in the ring. Maybe that's all it was.
I cannot recommend this enough, because if you're watching this video replay, I know you're only getting shot by shot. Go to the DAZN Facebook page and watch this fight on their Facebook feed. They sped up the video so Brandon looks better. It's actually pretty funny. They're playing it.
Those combos. It's those combos, though. I'm telling you.
Soto, they're playing the fight at slightly faster speed, so Soto even looks better. I don't know why DAZN / Eddie did that, but good for them for doing that.
You know what was another crazy thing was it was a 12-round fight. I don't understand why this was a 12-round fight.
Why was DeGale Eubanks a 12-round fight? Wait.
Well,
why was Joe Joyce?
They were an IBO. Oh, look, there he is. There's the gang member. Boom, in the back. Yes, he's still
MTK
in the
for
ring.
life.
Yeah, he's got a fucking. Oh no, is that a? I thought he had a bulletproof jacket on, but I think they were just overalls. There he was, though, Lee. I told you they had the cartel sitting right with them. Fuck out of here. That's the money guy. He's the one that's supposed to take the briefcase back after the fight. You know what I mean?
What's the one that's being ruled from jail? What's the gang that's being ruled from jail?
The Mexican Mafia. Right.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, but that's always the joke that I'm making about MTK. It's like an MTK or something, or
it's the Mexican Mafia. It's not MS-13. It's not MS-13. The
MS-13. There you go. Yeah.
They got a big presence, but they're not the Mexican Mafia though. I still got to believe that's the biggest gang in the prison system.
All right.
Yeah. We won't get all into that. Blame Soto. Blame Soto for that.
Get shot at, bro. That turns us to the channel of Fox Sports 1. More quality boxing coming out of the old.
You gotta love that fight was in TJ and they had someone like that in the background. I'm serious. Like
everything about it was
whoever was the producer of that show for DAZN, they need to look at him.
It was Eddie Hearn.
Monday morning.
Front row for the entire night.
There's somebody that you gotta go look, dude. Seriously, you're in a kind of a bad place right now in America, or not America, Mexico.
The funniest part of that is Eddie Hearn sitting front row looking as ginger and white and British in one of his white suits as possible. He looks like a plantation owner sitting in the front row. And all I kept thinking was, you get that you're in TJ, bro. You get that, right? Like, yeah. Like you could be kidnapped in the middle of the fight.
If he's from the wrong side, there could be some heavy shit going down in this place.
I'm not surprised. Look, Eddie seems like a smart guy who knows, hey, I got to pay the local gang to keep this on the square. So Soto doesn't get kidnapped and I don't get kidnapped.
Rios. It'd be Rios.
If we have listeners in TJ that are listening to this that are slightly offended because I'm making fun of your town, fuck you.
Yeah, I watched
all of that is actual, okay?
Yeah.
Durrell, Fox Sports 1, gets a technical split decision over Yildirim for the WBC belt by Keith Heidick. Anthony Durrell and Anvi Yildirim went to the scorecards 2+ rounds before either fighter wanted to Saturday night. Problem was that the cut that Durrell suffered along his left eyebrow was caused by an accidental clash of heads during the 9th round of a terrific back-and-forth fight. Keith, really went with terrific? Terrific?
It was. If you tuned in, Lee,
it was good. I would rate it on the Lee watching scale. Okay.
Yes.
For everybody who wonders, I'll give you the Lee watching scale. The first 2 rounds of Joyce Dervine were okay. It was okay. I didn't feel like I needed to get up or get a drink, or that's how I rate it, right? The second half of that fight was unwatchable because it was just a shit show. The main event I found compelling. Compelling is almost like workmanlike, right? That's how you'd use the word workmanlike, because you get into the technical shit. For me, it was compelling because there was so much crazy shit going on in that fight that it was compelling, which made it watchable. Andrew would say workmanlike if they were just technicians. Now let's go over